And welcome back to the Apocalypse. My name is Vormithrax, or Vorm, and this is episode number 63 of our Let's Play tutorial for Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. Alright, we've got a working workshop. It's working! Yay! 63 episodes, and we finally got it built. Now people can stop bugging me about it. Just kidding. Alright, so we got the workshop mostly running. Still some tuning to do, some other things to install and such, but the basics are in place, so I'm super happy about that. Now we still need to get some tools modified. So that was one of the big goals and the reasons for building this, is to take advantage of that UPS recharging station to be able to repair tools and use sun power and some gas power in order to continuously keep our tools charged up. Alright, so how are we going to do that? Well, let's take a look at some of the tools. So let's grab... We've already got the full welder. Let's grab the... I don't know if we need to grab any of that stuff. Look at my inventory real quick. And I think all I'm going to worry about for the moment is let's get some of those items built. So let's come over to our workshop. We'll control the vehicle. Let's turn on the headlights. Why not? And then we're going to go to the crafting menu. Search for UPS, and we're going to build some of these UPS conversion mods. Let's build 3 to start. Alright, 3 of them have been created. And in our inventory, we've got a couple of items I know right off I want to update. The soldering iron and the welder being the first 2. So let's unload those of their battery charges that they currently have. Alright, so now they are zeroed out. Soldering iron and welder. We'll go to the soldering iron. Actually, we'll go to the... I think I put them on the floor. Nope. They're in my inventory somewhere. I am missing them down at the bottom. UPS conversion mods. So we're going to activate, and we're going to sell it to modify the soldering iron. Permanently install your UPS conversion mod in your soldering iron. Yes. And it says we were successful. So if we go look at it now, the soldering iron shows soldering iron plus and then has UPS and charges. And let's go up here and we'll drop it in that space just above us. Right there. And I can't remember, do we have the charger on? We do. We have the charger turned on. So what should happen if we examine our vehicle is we're at 68%, or we can look down here, 84% total battery charge, 84% of our capacity of battery charge is currently available. And with that item in that space, it should start charging up. So let's do our next item. So we'll go to our mods, activate, and we're going to do the welder the same way. Yes. And then we'll drop the welder on there as well. Alright, anything else? Let me go look here. Will it show me what's in piles around me if I do it from here? Let's find out. Yes, it will. Alright, so here's a faster way. So it shows us all of our choices. We've got the heavy-duty flashlight. We can do the electric forge, makeshift welder, our food dehydrator and vacuum sealer. Our cordless drill, which I'm not sure that gives me anything above what the toolbox does, but I'll have to look. Electric lantern. Food processors. A number of things. I think nothing super critical at the moment. Maybe the electric forge. Let's check a few things first, though. So, we say get items. You can see they're charging up. So the welder's at 18 and the UPS is at 24. Maximum of 500 charges in the welder and maximum of 200 charges of the battery. So they maintain their same charge total. It's just that now they're able to charge up via the UPS power instead of using batteries. So it doesn't change their maximum capacity. Now, one thing I'm curious about, and I can't remember, is if I go back to here and over in electronics, extra battery mod. So right here, this is a homemade battery compartment made with spare electronics. With enough electronic skill, you could attach this to any electronic tool to double the amount of batteries it can hold. And I'm not certain you can have both a UPS and a battery mod on something. I'm going to build one of these real quick and see what options it gives me. Battery compartment mod. Oh, that's for vehicle batteries, putting them in regular tools. Don't see a use for that immediately. So let's just do the extra battery mod and test it and see what it gives us options wise. So we'll hit here, we'll hit activate, go down to our battery mod, and I don't see it showing my two UPS compatible ones, so probably you can't have both. But I'm wondering if you can, if you mod it one way first, are you able to mod it afterwards? So if I say get items and grab that soldering iron, just to make sure, extra battery mod, activate, soldering iron, that's the one that I have not modded yet, so it's not on the list, so it's not letting me do an upgrade that way. Alright, so if I go over here and pick up this soldering iron, if I activate the extra battery mod for that soldering iron, alright, then I try to activate the UPS mod. Yeah, it's an either or thing, so I can't have it both ways. And that's fine. Alright, so that is something to consider. I would like to get at least one more UPS recharging station built eventually. The reason for that is I'd like to put one in a vehicle. That way it would charge up as the vehicle drives around, and it would allow me to recharge things while I'm out and about in the vehicle as well, in case I needed to take things with me. So let's drop back onto that space our UPS soldering iron. Alright. Trying to think. Do I want to mod any of this other stuff? The electric lantern, I could mod it to the UPS, get it charged up while I'm puttering around so that it's ready to go, and then throw it in the vehicle with me if I'm going to go off somewhere. Here in the base, I've got my headlights and the dome light that I can turn on, so I don't really need the lantern any longer necessarily. Bring that list back up. Because the downside is if I mod the flashlight, for example, that I'm carrying around with me, and I go off on one of my scavenging runs and I run out, I can't just feed it batteries that I've looted. I can only recharge it via the UPS recharging station. So if I don't happen to have one in my vehicle that I'm doing the scavenging run with, then I can't recharge my light. So that's the only thing I'm debating. Food processor and electric drill are two I want to take a look at. Forge is probably something worth changing, but I'm debating that even. Cordless drill gives 3 drilling. Hand drill just gives 1. So the 3 drilling is definitely higher than... Am I holding the toolbox? I am. So the toolbox gives no drilling. Alright, so it is something I'm going to need. Alright. let's go ahead and mod the hand drill, or the electric drill. So we'll conversion mod it, activate, oops, not standing close enough. Alright. The makeshift welder I shouldn't use any longer. I've got a standard welder which is much more efficient and has a better welding quality, so the makeshift welder is essentially retired. Pick that up. I think I can throw that on the charger and it'll charge up to 1,000, and that will provide remote power if I need to charge up any other devices. So it's like a UPS battery pack. I don't think I can mod the torch. It runs off of the gas. Yeah, it runs off of the oxyacetylene ammunition type. The electric forge I could mod, though. Didn't I mod that cordless drill? How come it's not showing UPS? Huh. I'm a little confused. My mod's gone. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there. Puzzling. Make a few more, and I'm sure I picked that cordless drill. Did it fail last time? Maybe it failed and I didn't notice the message. It's the only thing I can think of. Alright, so it says it successfully did it that time, and now it shows the cordless drill, so let's drop that on here as well. And activate. I think I will do the electric forge. Alright. Okay. Nothing else to change there. I could probably change these, but I'm not going to worry about it for now. I think that will get done most of the critical things I wanted to get done there. Alright, so we're down to, what, 67% battery charge, so the battery charge is dropping, as you can see, so we've got a lot of things charging currently on that space. What else? Doofus keeps jumping into my chair. Apparently he wants the comfy seat. Alright, did I want to do anything else with these? I think I'm out of... Oh, that's what I wanted to do. So, let's, let this stuff... Yep, the welder's already fully charged, so we'll grab that. UPS can go to 1,000. Soldering iron can go to 200. Alright, so we'll grab the welder. And what I wanted to look at was these storage batteries real quick, and also the solar panels that I've got nearby. What I'm curious about is how much does it take to repair these? So if I, yeah, I have to pick one up. So we'll grab that one. Inventory, battery, no, storage battery. I think I have to use the welder on it, if I remember right. Alright, so if I go welder, activate, and then repair, asking me to repair what? If I pick the storage battery, got 12% success with no damage chance, so let's say repair until, or repeat until fully repaired. Use scrap metal. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Oh, it's reinforcing? Stop that then. Used. It's still showing red status, but I think something else is going on there. So drop. Let me get these batteries out of my inventory and the conversion mod for now. And I'll keep the mod. So if I drop that, okay, I think it's full capacity, or stop. All right. Yep, it's repaired back to full. Okay, and that's a completely charged battery that I could throw on the network. So if I look at my batteries here, one of them's at 100%, so I'm going to pull the 100% battery off the network, and I know it's the, pretty sure it's this lower one. So if I remove battery, or not, apparently that was the not quite full, or the low one. That's another thing that's hard to tell, is figuring out which particular items are where. So it's the space above it that actually had the one that's the lower. So let's go back to that. Install. How come it's not showing me the battery again? Oh. Alright, this one, remove battery. Alright, so that was the one that was full. Okay, so that one, well, almost full now. Okay. Well, we've got spare batteries, so if we ran low in our electrical network, I could take one of these batteries and go ahead and get it installed. Let's finish repairing these other ones real quick. So go back to the welder, repair, and I've got to have it on me apparently. Cancel that. Alright, that's now fully repaired. grab the last one. Alright, there we go. 3 completely repaired, almost completely full batteries. Ready to go. So this is why I wanted to make sure I got the electrical grid up and working, because now with this welder tool, I can just drop this right back onto the UPS recharging station. It'll fill back up again, and that gives me the ability to do these kinds of repairs. You want to make sure your batteries are in full condition. Don't use damaged batteries, they'll leak energy, so you don't want that to happen. So let's come back over here, let's grab these things and shuffle them back over towards the useful inventory piles. I think I'll leave them right here on the ground below where I know I have these other 2 installed. I guess I could put them on the space, but it's going to get confusing already, so we'll do from here to there. Yeah, we'll just leave them there. I'm going to have to do a lot of shuffling around to figure things out when I have to remove batteries and such, but that'll work. Alright, so that was that. Then I want to next check the solar panels and see if I can repair the solar panels and get a couple more added to the network so we get more of a trickle charge during the daytime hours. So if I look up solar, I've got 4 solar panels, 3 of them lightly damaged and 1 of them pretty heavily damaged. They're all pretty heavy. We'll just grab... Well, we're not moving anywhere. Let's go up here first. Let's recharge the welder. Alright, how's the other items doing? So the cordless drill's maxed, the UPS is maxed, and the soldering iron's maxed. We'll pull those out. The forge not recharging. Can it recharge? Am I thinking of something that there's a problem here? It says maximum 500. Oh, it's not UPS. Yet another thing where I was pretty sure I modded that thing. So successful. And it now does show Forge Plus with the UPS symbol, so we'll drop that in there. Alright, these other tools we're just going to drop onto the tools pile if I'm not immediately using them. So that soldering iron actually won't make much difference, so we'll just drop all of those on there. Okay. So 11 and 272, that could go to 500. Let's just stand in place for 30 minutes and see how much it changes. That quick. That was actually a lot faster than I thought. So 30 minutes and it charged almost a little more than 250 or so charge into it. So I'm happy with that. So we'll grab the welder again. Forge can stay. How's our network doing? We're at 48% battery, so one of our batteries is now at 0% charge. So let's get these solar panels fixed. So we'll go get items, find solar, and we'll just grab all 4 of them. We're not moving, so the weight won't matter all that much. Activate. I hope it's just the welder to do this. Repair. Can't see. I'm 1 space out of my light. Activate. Welder. And I am not seeing solar panels on the list. Alright, so apparently it's not done with the solar panel. Is it soldering iron maybe? So if we activate the soldering iron. This item is not repairable. Well, alright then. Be very, very careful with your solar panels. Okay, so we're going to drop these back in place. So, very fragile, be very careful with your solar panels. If you look here in the details section, right there, it says this item is not repairable. Alright, so when you're out and about looking at those vehicles for the electric cars and such, that's where you want to be really careful to make sure you take good care of those things, because they're fragile and you can't repair them. Yeah, this car's, all of them are damaged in various degrees. Down to 50% battery. I'm not sure if it's staying ahead of the charge or not, or if these are trickling energy out because the batteries are busted, or one of them is. However, alright, so I don't have the option with my current solar panels to put more on the network unless I'm willing to pull some off of, I think the RV's got some good condition ones. Right there. That's slightly damaged, destroyed, and two good ones. So I'll eventually want to get these two replaced. Alright, what did we need to take care of next? I was looking at what else I could upgrade on the grid now that I've got my tools settled. Now the kitchen unit, we've got a hot plate that we can use to cook from, so I believe if I'm just anywhere in the area now, you'll notice that it's got all of the, right here, it says hot plate 20 charges. That means it's going to use the kitchen hot plate that I've got near me from my vehicle setup, and it's just going to burn a little bit of electrical charge in order to cook with. So I no longer need my brazier to be lit up in order for me to cook. I can just cook right off my electrical grid, basically. Now, if I had a water tank attached to the grid, I could also drink straight out of the faucet here in my kitchen unit. So when I do this menu, a choice will be to drink from the clean water, but I don't have a tank with clean water attached to my grid currently. But that is an option that you can do. So right now, with what I've got out, probably not, but that's the other thing actually. Now that I've got the welder settled and I've got the power grid working, I can probably extend my network. I think I will. Let's put one right here, install, frame. We'll just do one of these right there. I think a lot of my power grid is disappearing because of the headlights I've got running. Yeah, power's dropping pretty quick. Probably do the headlights and getting all this stuff charged up. Alright, so we got all the tools off of the UPS recharger now. We'll drop the forge. I'll keep the soldering iron and the welder with me for now. Alright, it's 6:30, so the sun should be coming up any time now, so let's sit around for half an hour. There's the sun, and we'll control the vehicle and turn off the headlights, so that's where most of our power drain is going now. Alright, so only the recharger currently is allowed to be on. It's not drawing any power while there's no tools on it, so that's not a problem. Alright. I want to eat and drink before anything else. Okay. Back to my grid. So right here, trying to remember what I wanted to put in here. Install. I was thinking of putting some kind of large capacity tank in here. One of the options you can install here is a water purifier. So if you have a tank that you've got rainwater or any other kind of water dumped into, you can just automatically run it through the purifier unit and into another tank. So it just depends on how big you want to make your network and how many different items you want to get set up. But don't remember the benefit or difference between a kitchen unit and the Foodco Kitchen Buddy either. I think this is an upgraded version of the kitchen unit, if I remember right. Yeah, I don't have another tank immediately handy to install for water supply. I am going to go ahead and put the chemistry station in right here. That way we have it available for whatever we need to do for cooking. Right here, install onboard chemistry lab. Alright. So if we control... Shouldn't need anything as far as I remember. I don't have any food in the fridge to worry about yet, so... let's go ahead and repair it. I don't know if that makes a difference for the chemistry lab or not. Most of the other components we've got installed are good. Alright. Things are looking better. We've got most of the critical things I wanted to get installed. We don't have as much power generation as I'd be happy with, nor do I have the liquid storage capacity that I'd like to eventually get set up. So I'm a little undecided. I mean, I can run the frame right across the front of these door spaces without too much difficulty. If I just want to put like a bunch of liquid holding tanks down here, all it's going to take is a bunch more frames. But I've now got a welder that I can easily charge up. So I think what we'll do... We're at 43% for battery power, 23% gas. I think I need to do some inventory maintenance and think about anything else I might want to put on this. If anybody has any suggestions or you have any questions about how I've set this up or what to do or what else you can do with it, feel free to put them in the comments or hit me up on the Discord channel. But I think I've got all the priority stuff down, and you've got a pretty good idea now after this last episode and this one of how to set the network up, the nuts and bolts and the menu options to do so. There are a few tricky spots where you've got to have certain skill levels in order to get certain things, like that UPS recharger problem we ran into for a bit. But otherwise it's fairly straightforward. It's just like a vehicle. So I think I'm going to transition off of this project we've got most of what I want installed. I just need to get a little bit more in regards to the solar panels, some liquid storage, maybe a few other minor items, but we'll need to do some more looting and scavenging out in the game world for that. And then, now that we know we can recharge our tools reliably, I'm much more comfortable about coming up to this vehicle and repairing a bunch of stuff. Now, I would prefer a vehicle welding rig, which is something else we're going to try to get eventually, but that's for a future thing. But now that we've got these types of things that with renewable energy sources, I could bring the welder over here and repair my spiked ram, get all this frame damage fixed up, and basically go over this vehicle and get it all fixed up. And it would just be a matter of welding as much as I can, then dropping the welder on the recharging station for a short bit, and then letting it charge up, and then going out and doing it again. So right now, though, our power generation is still pretty low. I'd need to get more fuel to run the gas motor constantly, or much more in the way of solar panels that we could turn into arrays in order to have a decent amount of energy coming in. Because the trickle charge just isn't going to keep up with heavy use if we're running the workshop tools. So I think that will probably be it for this episode. Like I said, I want to do some inventory shuffling now that we've got the basics of the network down, and I'll move some of these piles around, do a little bit of thinking on what we want to do next. I'd like to get that RV working and fixed up, modified quite heavily, but we also need to do some further things out in the game world, so I don't want to spend all my time and a dozen episodes just in base staring at menu screens, so I'd like to be out and about killing some stuff too. I really would like to get into this military base down here. We haven't done anything like that yet, and I think we're about to the point where that's feasible. So we've got some weaponry, we've got some skills, we've got an NPC that can help us out if he doesn't get himself shot to death, or if I don't stab him to death accidentally like I almost did before. I haven't found any labs yet. I'm not real interested in going to the mall. They're pretty fun. There's a cool scenario start where you're a mall guard and you have to start off in the mall. That's an entertaining way to begin the game with the crowd of zombies in there. But there's no reasons I can think of that would lead me to go to the mall and deal with that crowd right now. Well, we've got a heavily reinforced vehicle that I can just plow through those crowds of 50 zombies out front. Maybe we'll do it. But beyond that, I probably need to do a longer scouting run in a vehicle, head out to some of these further towns. I was looking around the map, and unfortunately there's no other really large-scale towns real close. I mean, that one's not too bad in that area. That's pretty densely populated, but I mean, it's pretty sparse in a lot of the areas immediately around us. So the town of Coventry that we'd already been to is the only other close one. So we've transitioned definitely into the middle stages of the game. We're out of the early parts of the game, so survival by itself is no longer a challenge. I mean, I could live indefinitely with my resources that we've got. I know exactly how and where to go get any amount of water that I need. I know where and how to go get any amount of food that I need. So we're out of that stage, and this is definitely into the middle part of the game. If you guys have any recommendations or things you would like to see me do, feel free to put them in the comments. I'd like some guidance from here because I'm starting to run out of easy to talk about topics. We've covered most of the things I wanted to make sure were covered with the establishment of this workshop. And to move forward with this playthrough, if you want to see me do something else, let me know, because I'm going to need some guidance. It's very much a sandbox game. You make your own goals and your own rules for how you want to play, so some push in certain directions from you guys, or letting me know if I've missed something that you think might be critical for new players to learn, I think would be helpful. That way I can cover them while I've got the resources and the tools available. before I have to start another one. I am interested in doing another series that's much more challenging. This one was kind of easy mode for me in the way that I set the world up, because I wanted to make sure I was able to kind of go through an intro game world for new players and situations that they might encounter early game. But I'd like to do a more challenging playthrough or scenario, and so far I've been avoiding that because I didn't want to confuse things and have things running in parallel. But if you can let me know what you'd like to see, either challenge-wise or for me to do tutorial-wise here in this playthrough, please don't hesitate. Let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to do that. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I think I'm going to take a break from here, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.